Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is Lonzo Ball the answer to the Clippers' problems, or can Lonzo Ball solve the Clippers' problems? So that's the topic I'm going to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, we have our Dreamerspro Max online sports community. It's a place where you can go, start basketball discussions, chat live during games like we did last night when we were raging during that game. It's a place where you can consume original content that you're not going to be able to get anywhere else. Also, go live with us after games to take questions and just really share our thoughts and do so many other things. So if you guys are interested in this, be sure to check it out. We have it linked in the description below. Get 7 days of free access because you guys don't want to miss out. Now, I'm sure you guys had a lot to say after last night's game. So if you were on there, you'll be able to communicate much easier with us. Anyway, check that out. We have it in the description below. Let me get into this topic here. So the Clippers have been looking for a point guard since the beginning of time, or at least all season long, right? That's been one of the things that the Clippers have been looking for. They've been trying to find a solid point guard for them this year. Now, currently, let's talk about the Clippers' current point guards. They have Patrick Beverley, who I love as far as his defensive intensity. He's an all NBA defensive player. He's about a 40% three-point shooter. If I look at Patrick Beverley's statistics here, Patrick Beverley this season is shooting Patrick Beverley is shooting 42% from the three. So he's a solid three-point shooter, attempting about 4.1, making about 1.7 per game. And he's also a 44% shooter from the field. So Patrick Beverley is a solid knockdown three-point shooter. However, he has some other issues that I'm going to get to. Then you have Lou Williams, who I'm not really a fan of. You guys already know this by now. I'm not a fan of Lou Williams. Y'all already know how I feel about Lou Williams. Then you got Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson, just a little bit more of the Lou Williams kind of thing with a little bit less knucklehead in him. That's what I think about Reggie Jackson. And you have Terrence Mann, who is a player. He's a baller. Terrence Mann can play. The only thing about, Terrence Mann plays great defense, plays with a lot of energy. Smart guy, can make some great plays. The only thing is he's not really a good shooter. He doesn't shoot as much, and I can understand he's a second-year guy, right? So let me get into the issues with the point guards that they have here. So currently Patrick Beverley is injured. Patrick Beverley has only played 29 of the available 40 games, which means that Patrick Beverley's missed just over 25% of the games this season. That's a problem, especially given the fact that now you're going into the second half of the season, and this is when you should be building your continuity. Patrick Beverley is gone. So that's a problem, right? Although he's an emotional heartbeat of the team, the fact that he's not there doesn't help you. It doesn't help you if he's not there. So that's one issue. Lou Williams, you guys already know what I feel about Lou Williams, about what happened in the Orlando bubble, and I think he's a bad decision maker with the basketball, and he doesn't play defense. And every time he comes in a game like clockwork, dudes are laughing at me when we're chatting during the game. Like clockwork. It's like as if somebody presses the button and he turns over the ball as soon as he walks in the game. That's Lou Williams for. I'm not a fan of Lou Williams. Reggie Jackson is just a two guard that seems to be masquerading as a point guard. To be quite honest with you, he can score, but again, last night you saw him. You saw Reggie. So this is the beginning of their problems, right? I think their point guards are not very high IQ basketball players as far as running the point. Not that they're dumb guys. None of these guys are very smart guys. I'm talking about running a team. They're not like, okay, no one is going to confuse any of these point guards with Chris Paul. Now, Chris Paul is all-time great, but you understand the point that I'm trying to make. However, Lonzo Ball, on the other hand, has a very high IQ for a basketball player playing at that position. Okay, we all know this. This is one of the things about Lonzo Ball. This is the reason why his sophomore year in the NBA he averaged 7 assists. Lonzo Ball, when he came into the NBA, his issue was not playmaking or decision making. His issue was he had a broken shot and he had too much pressure thrusted upon him by his dad, which I don't understand why he did that. I guess he tried to hype him up, whatever it is. But his issue was never his ability as a point guard, his decision-making abilities as a point guard. Lonzo has a very high IQ. Another thing is, Lonzo Ball is very, very young. Lonzo Ball, guys, is only 23 years old. Think about that. Lonzo Ball is 23 years old. He's a kid. I'm 33, so thinking about somebody's 10 years, he's a kid. So Lonzo Ball is a very young guy. So imagine if they had him. This is somebody that can be a part of this team moving forward for a pretty long time. Another thing is he plays great defense. Lonzo Ball, you don't even have to worry about him playing defense because he plays great defense and he has great size, which helps him. Lonzo Ball is 6'6", playing the point guard position. 6'6". The Clippers, Patrick Beverley, 6'2". I don't think they have a point guard taller than 6'3", with the exception of Terrence Mann, who I think is 6'5", if I'm not mistaken, but he doesn't get a lot of minutes, right? So his length helps the team overall defensively with deflections and being able to play the passing lanes, but he also gives the team more length overall. And he's a great defender. He can stay in front of guys as a point guard, which also takes less pressure off the secondary line of defense with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, right? Patrick Beverley can do a great job, and he can guard multiple positions, but Reggie Jackson can. Lou Williams can. Now Terrence Mann can, but Terrence Mann is like their third string point guard. Sometimes they have him play the two. If the Clippers got Lonzo Ball, he could really help them with their offense, because one of the things that the Clippers talk about, or one of the issues that Tyronn Lue always points to, is the fact that they usually tend to pound the ball a lot and they slow down their offense. What he's talking about when he says speed up the tempo, because I listened to him say it, he gave a clear explanation of it. When he says push the speed up the game, what he's saying is get the ball up the court as soon as the opponent scores. For example, you want to get into your offense faster. See if you have any available options, any holes in the defense that you can exploit within the first, let's say, 4 seconds of the ball of the shot clock. If you don't have any options, then you go into your half court offense. Basically, what he's trying to do is get his team easier looks or higher percentage shots because the defense is not set. So when he's talking about pushing the pace, he's saying if you push the pace up the court, then you give yourself a chance to score a little bit easier, which allows you to set your defense. Because remember, for your defense to work, your offense has to click. If you're not making shots, you're always running back in transition. So that's one of the things that he's talking about. And then if you think of Lonzo Ball, that's one of his biggest strengths, is pushing the tempo, pushing the pace. You see him getting a lot of these outlet passes. Lonzo Ball is a specialist at doing that. So a guy like him could really aid the team with their offense and ultimately with their defense, because he can help them score a little bit easier, get easier shots, which allows them to stretch their defense. Another thing is Lonzo Ball has been shooting the three very well. Last night you saw the game. He was out there looking like Steve Nash or what's his name, Stephen Curry, or somebody like this. This year he's shooting 39% from the three. That's respectable. I don't need him to be a 40% three-point shooter when he's doing so many other great things for me. So that's another thing that I like about him. Another thing, he's been available. He's available. He's played 36 games this year. So you know he's going to be available. And I think he had an injury or was coming off an injury or something like this. But he's, for the most part, he's usually there. And then listen, I think Lonzo Ball is the type of guy that the Clippers need to go after. Let me say this. I mentioned in a video that if the Clippers are not able to make any moves, can they at least make it out the Western Conference? I thought so if no other big moves are made in the West. And I think they have enough to make it out the West. But to win it all, no, I don't think so. But given the fact that now we're in the second half of the season, they only play 1 or 2 games, guys already out, then you're already off to a bad start. So I think the Clippers need to try to get away to go after Lonzo Ball if they can get him. If they can get him, I think it'll really help. And get rid of all the other, I don't care who you get rid of. I don't care who you get rid of. Pick them. Pick them. Pick whoever you look at the roster, close your eyes and pick them. Just remove Kawhi Leonard and Paul George off the roster, Serge Ibaka and these guys, and just go ahead. Because he can help the team, and they desperately need a high IQ basketball player, which is something that Kawhi Leonard has been pointing to. So what I want to know from you guys is, do you think the Clippers should make a trade for Lonzo Ball? Very simple. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Again, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the next video that we have coming up on the channel. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode.